It was just a normal day on Earth. People were driving cars, working in offices, watching videos, and laughing with friends. Then, everything stopped. The sky turned completely black. No sun, no stars, not even the moon. Airplanes disappeared mid-air. Oceans froze for a moment. All clocks stopped ticking. It was as if time itself had paused. This strange silence lasted exactly 60 seconds. Then suddenly, everything returned to normal. People around the world were confused. Scientists called it a global glitch. Governments gave no answers. Most people forgot it and moved on. But not Arav. He remembered everything. During those 60 seconds, he was not on Earth. He was floating in a dark place, surrounded by lights, strange sounds, and something watching him. It spoke to him, but not in words, more like thoughts entering his brain. And now, even after everything went back to normal, those strange thoughts were still in his head. Arav knew something was very wrong. That night, as he lay in bed, he saw a symbol glowing on his hand. It was not human. It felt alien. And somewhere in deep space, something had noticed him too. Earth's test had begun. Arav couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw strange shapes, moving like living symbols. They were not dreams. They were messages. When he woke up, the symbol on his hand was still glowing faintly. He rushed to the mirror. The glow was real. He touched it, and in that moment his mind opened. Images flashed inside his head, cities made of light, planets with giant machines, and tall creatures with silver skin and eyes like stars. He saw a giant machine scanning Earth, then choosing him. A voice echoed in his thoughts, not in any language he knew, but he understood it perfectly. You are the chosen variable. Arav didn't know what it meant, but he felt different. His phone suddenly turned off when he touched it. Lights flickered around him. Machines reacted to his presence. Something inside him had changed. He tried to tell his friend Ria, but as he spoke, a loud ringing filled her ears, and her nose began to bleed. Arav stopped in fear. Whatever was inside him, it wasn't safe. Somewhere far from Earth, alien machines came to life. A signal had been sent. They had found their glitch. Now they were coming to fix it. Arav stayed hidden the next day. He avoided school, friends, even his parents. The symbol on his hand had now turned into a thin line of pulsing light, moving slowly up his arm like a living wire. He opened his laptop, but the screen melted into code, not letters or numbers, but symbols from his dreams. Then suddenly, a message appeared. You are not supposed to remember. Before he could react, his window shattered. But there was no stone, no bullet. Just a loud hum in the air, like something had cut through space itself. Outside, the street was empty. Too empty. No people, no sound. Just one figure standing still in the middle of the road. It looked human, but moved too smoothly, too perfectly. Arav stepped back. The figure tilted its head, scanning him. Then it spoke in a flat, robotic voice. Contain the variable. Prepare for memory wipe. Panic surged through Arav. He ran. The world around him started to shift. Streetlights flickered in patterns. Birds froze midair again. Time was bending. He wasn't just being watched now. He was being hunted. And the ones hunting him were not from Earth. Arav didn't stop running. The streets behind him twisted like a dream turning into a nightmare. The air felt heavier, like something invisible was pressing down on reality itself. He ducked into an old warehouse, reading hard. His mind raced. What am I? Why are they after me? The lights flickered, and then silence. From the shadows, the same smooth-moving figure appeared. It didn't walk, it glided. Its eyes glowed with cold blue light. Its face looked human, but there was no emotion, no soul. Return with us, or be erased, it said. Arav raised his hands. I don't understand. What do you want from me? The figure responded by raising its arm. A pulse of energy shot out, but before it could hit him, something deep inside Arav activated. Time slowed. Arav moved without thinking, dodging the blast. His hands glowed. The symbol on his arm burned bright, sending out a shockwave that knocked the figure back. He didn't know how he did it, but it felt natural, like waking up. The figure stared at him, analyzing. Then it whispered, "The merge has begun," and just like that, it vanished. Arav stood alone, breathing hard. He was changing, and so was everything around him. The next morning, Arav sat in his room, his hands shaking as he stared at the symbol on his arm. He knew something was wrong, something bigger than he could understand. The more he thought about it, the more the truth began to creep into his mind. The day Earth vanished for 60 seconds, it wasn't just a glitch. It was a test. The flashbacks became clearer. The machine, the alien symbols, the strange dark place. He had been chosen for something, but he hadn't been given a choice. That night, as he sat on the edge of his bed, a holographic map appeared in front of him. The symbols shifted, and he recognized the patterns. They were coordinates. They led to a place in the sky. His heart raced. He had to go there. A low hum filled the room, and the air around him began to distort. He felt his body pulling toward the window as if gravity had changed. The voice echoed in his mind again. "It is time. You are the chosen variable." He wasn't just part of some random experiment. Earth itself had been part of a simulation, a grand experiment by an alien civilization. And now he was their creation, their link to something much more dangerous. The vanishing wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. Arav knew that to save Earth, he would have to uncover the truth, and that meant finding out what really happened to the people who had disappeared before. The ones who were lost forever. Arav stood at the edge of the rooftop, staring into the night sky. The coordinates on the holographic map pointed toward a massive structure hidden within the stars. It was close, yet out of reach. The voice in his mind, cold and distant, continued to speak, guiding him. "You are a hybrid. The merge has begun." The words rattled in his head. A hybrid? He didn't understand. He was human, wasn't he? But as the night air pressed in, his body felt different. Stronger, faster, more aware. His senses were sharper, his thoughts clearer. The symbol on his arm now pulsed like a heartbeat, sensing with his own. Arav's hand shook. His reflection in the glass beside him was no longer just human. His eyes glowed faintly with the same cold blue light he had seen in the aliens. His veins flickered with energy, not blood. His DNA had changed. He was no longer just Earth's child. He was something more. He was connected to the forces that had once tested humanity itself. The city below seemed so small, insignificant now. He wasn't like the rest of them. He was a part of something much greater, and that made him dangerous. The realization hit him like a lightning bolt. The aliens hadn't just chosen him to test humanity. They had created him, and the transformation was far from over. As he turned away from the edge, a blinding flash of light lit up the sky. Something was coming for him. Something that could destroy everything. It wasn't just his powers at risk. Earth was on the edge of a war it didn't even know had begun. Arav's mind raced as the blinding flash in the sky grew larger. The alien machines were coming. He could feel their presence, like a shadow moving across the stars, hunting for him. He had to make a choice that could either save Earth or doom it forever. The voice in his head spoke again, calm yet terrifying. "You have no choice, Arav. Join us or we will reset this world. You are the key to everything." He didn't know what the reset meant, but he could feel its weight. If he sided with the aliens, he could be part of their empire, an empire that ruled the stars. But at what cost? What would happen to Earth? To humanity? He turned to the symbol on his arm, its glow pulsing faster, matching the beating of his heart. He was changing again, his powers growing stronger. But was he still human? Arav closed his eyes and thought of the people he loved, the world he had grown up in. He couldn't let them become pawns in some alien game. Suddenly, the flash of light descended, crashing into the city with a force that shook the ground. The alien machines were here. But this time they weren't after just him. They were after everything. As they landed, their towering forms blocked out the sky. Their leader, a figure of pure energy, stepped forward. Arav felt the weight of the decision fall on him. This was it. "You are our last test," Arav, the leader, said. "Now choose, Earth or us." Arav clenched his fists. He wasn't a tool for them to control. He was human, and humanity was more than just a test. The glow on his arm exploded, sending out waves of energy that shook the alien machines to their core. His powers surged, filling the air with a hum of raw, untapped potential. But this wasn't just his power. It was the power of Earth, of humanity, of everything they stood for. With a final defiant roar, Arav unleashed his full strength, tearing through the alien forces. They had underestimated him. They had underestimated Earth. In that moment, Arav realized the truth. He wasn't the chosen variable. He was the variable that would change everything, and he would make sure Earth survived, no matter the cost. The alien machines crumbled and the sky began to clear. Humanity had won. But Arav knew that the war wasn't over. It had only just begun.